this song, guys. We're only gonna listen to a couple of seconds, a few seconds, one moment.
When I look in the mirror, I see a girl, beautifully broken, perfectly flawed. I don't even know how I made it this far. And I'm asking myself questions like, why did I do it? Why did this happen to me? Then I said you can get through it. You just have to believe what I do now. Gotta make it all count. So why not me? I'm the perfect person to go through the storm. It won't break me, it won't kill me, I'll move on. And then I'll come out even better than before. And I'll never see this place anymore. Cause my faith is getting stronger every day. I'm removing everything that's in my way. And the fact that I survived another day makes me say, why not me?
Oh my God, I absolutely love this song. It is called Why Not Me by Tasha Page Lockhart. Now, this is not a commercial for her, but if you have not heard it and you enjoyed it, you want to hear the whole thing, you can look it up, download it, let that sister get paid for the anointing on her throat. And for blessing us with this song. However, this is another episode of In My Feelings with your girl, your host with the most, your favorite chick to chit chat with, Ms. Mo. And I feel like this is a little late, but it's going to be right on time for those of you who will receive it. You know, this month we've been talking about feeling inadequate, feeling insufficient, feeling unqualified, how that created limitations and barriers for us moving forward, how it opened us up and introduced us to and put on repeat fear in our lives, which again tie back to the whole limitations and barriers. And so we've talked about that, and I thought this song was kind of fitting for what we have been sharing, and I hope you'll find it inspirational. Well, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is, as you know, I think this is like a few months ago, I did this little exercise where I was looking for a piece of paper, and I ended up looking over my notes to find this information. And what I realized to myself that day was that I felt like I had talked about a lot of things, wrote down a lot of things, made a lot of plans, started some things, and didn't finish much of anything. And I felt bad. I felt it was hard to hear, hard to see, and it hurt. But it led me to an exercise where I wrote everything that I had ever heard God speak to me about doing on its own individual sheet of paper. I laid it all around my living room, and I prayed over it. I would not move anything from the floor until I heard from God. Now, y'all know I got OCD, so that was hard. But I had to trust God to speak to me about each one of those things, because what I knew, if he spoke to me about it once, he would speak to me about it again. And I was so grateful. It was so therapeutic and so profound. I know it sounds like I'm speaking quick, but I want to keep this video short. And so I ended up, I'm working on something, and there's a young lady, and she gave me an assignment, something we're doing to get some ministry and business stuff established for me. And that took me on a little journey, treasure hunt, where I was looking for some information that I had already previously notated. Well, by doing so, I had this amazing revelation of how what I'm doing now, these videos, the show, the Friday show, which I hope you guys have been viewing, sharing, and enjoying. I really hope it's been a blessing to someone, because it has been therapeutic and a blessing to me. And I really enjoy putting them together, and I'm learning some new things, and we're going to continue to elevate in how we do it and just get better and better with it so that I can bring you better quality. But I don't want to get so bogged up in editing and all of that stuff that I don't set aside myself to hear so I can bring you quality content. So anywho, the things that I'm doing now, the videos, the being consistent with my newsletter, getting ready to relaunch Laysom for the third time, and all of those things, these are all things that I have been writing about back in 2014. I was like, wait, what? It's 2020, and I was talking about these things in 2014. Now, here's the kicker. 2014 is just the latest or the oldest document that I came across in those notes. So I had forgot when I initially started Laysom. And further looking through some other things, I realized Laysom was incorporated and released in 2006. That means God was talking to me about it in 2004, 2005. Oh my goodness, are you serious? I remember it started with just sending out an email to a few people, and they started adding people, and more people was like, oh, send it to me. And I had this long distribution list of people that I was sending these emails to. The emails evolved into the newsletter. We had a website. There were people who were going to share and write. It was so much, and it's so crazy because asking others to come aboard and join with the magazine and so on and so forth, and how I'm going to reformat that for the new launch. All of those things were things that I had started some time ago, but life kind of got in the way of my obedience. And I'm looking at it in the sense that was 2005, here it is 2020. That's 15 years ago. And if it was something that I said or did or wrote or started in 2004, 16 years ago. Like I say, some of the other things, 2014. 6 years ago, and here we are doing it now. So why is this a big deal? Why was this something worth sharing? I'll tell you why. Because you have to keep going. Even when it doesn't look like it, you have to remember, because when I was writing it and God was preparing it, he was building it on paper and in my heart so that I could attach to it, so that I can be infused with it, so that I can move forward in it. And now here we are beginning to manifest it. And with every video I do, or every so many videos that I do, as I obey, he speaks how to adjust it, how to take it a different way, or take it to another level, or he formats it. Because originally I had just kept hearing this urgency in my spirit. Just do it. Just get started. Just start writing. Just do it. Just hit record. Just go. And so when I was, oh, but I need to this, and oh, don't I need to have it? All of these things that I thought needed to be in order for me to do what I'm doing. And it was like, I just kept hearing, just go. Just start, just hit record, just pull it up, hit record. And so in hearing these things, and you finally start to do it, it's like, I just needed you to get started. And now with every step, there's an adjustment. Hey, now I want you to format this. Now I want you to limit this to this. Now when you do this, I want you to present it like this. Okay, now you need to add this. And these are things that I didn't know how to do, or know that I knew how to do, or had the skills to even learn how to do these things. It was so far out of my scope, in my opinion. And I've been learning these different things because I hadn't been in a position to pay people to do them for me. So he gave me the mental capacity to learn it. He put it out there on videos for people to teach you. And there are actually people who want to share information. Oh my God, it's absolutely beautiful. So I just wanted to tell you, I don't care how long it's been, don't give up. If God hasn't told you to let go of it, then don't you let go of it. You just keep that thing before him. God, what are we doing? We still, okay, what about this? Oh, okay, what about this? Just keep it before God. Keep it in prayer. Cover it. And even if you know there's an area that you've been assigned to, but the work isn't yet done by your hands or by your mouth, you're not speaking directly yet. You don't have to be in the presence of who you're called to speak into their life. You can hear God. The other day, God had me praying for my sisters like never before. Last Friday's show, oh my goodness, it was an eye-opener to some different things. And it started some conversations. And one thing I've realized and I found is that sometimes we don't want to hear the truth. Especially if it's not a truth that makes us look beautiful, that doesn't promote us in the best light or whatever. But the reality is we're not always walking in the best light or in the best way. However, the fact that we're still breathing gives us the opportunity. Okay, I can talk. gives us the opportunity to make the changes and adjustments to be the best version of ourselves, or to be the best us, not even just the version, just to be the best us. So I'm saying all of this to say, keep pushing. Don't give up. If you haven't heard anything about it, take it back to God. If God has told you not yet, or God has told you something else, then focus on what it is that he's telling you. But don't you count that thing out. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to start something new. Don't be afraid to scrap what you heard. And don't be afraid to just get started. If get started is what he's telling you. And every time he gives you something, because here's another lesson of that, every time he gives you something does not mean it's going to manifest in the next 30 days. 60 days, 90 days, 1 year, 5 years. It may not fit in your 1, 5, and 10-year plan. And I know the fingers went up different. But it may not fit into your plan and timeline. Don't abort what God has given you because it did not manifest during your time frame. Give God room to groom it and groom you for it. If he told you to do it, he'll give you the time to do it. And if you missed it and maybe the grace or the need for it has passed, the fact that you're still here just means he still has something else for you to do. Be open to that. Stop focusing so hard on your failures. If there's a lesson that you can learn from it, grab the lesson and keep on moving. Even in, I think we started this inadequate series or session off by saying, how did it go? I think it was in the first one for this one. And it said, give me 1 minute. I'm getting older. My mind be doing my mind be doing some things. It said, often we look at our lives and we'll be real quick to say, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. And if you be honest, when you say that, you're not excited. Even if you're doing that fake pep talk to yourself, we're gonna fake it till we make it, you're not excited about that, because what that does is it pronounces failure. And if you keep saying that, then you keep hearing failure. And if you keep hearing failure, your spirit starts to pick up on I'm a failure, not just I failed at this or I missed this. And so you don't want to keep eating that. What you want to take in is the good. So the difference, another way of looking at it or speaking about it is, I'm not where I'm headed yet. That word yet pronounces hope. It announces hope. It announces that there is still time. It announces that it just hasn't happened yet, but I'm still on my way. That whole statement says I'm not there yet, but I'm headed there, and there it's set for me, right? Okay, so we hear that, we know that, and that's how we have to change our communication and speak to ourselves. You may not be there yet, but you are on your way. As long as you keep moving, as long as you keep your focus on the forward. You ever notice how in your review mirror, things are behind you and they look smaller, but the little information on there says that objects may be bigger than they appear in a mirror. So a car is much bigger than it looks when it's further behind you. So those things that are behind you have already passed and already been done. You should have taken what you could, threw it in the trunk, and kept it moving. But if it wasn't something you needed, when you get to the next stop, discard it. I wouldn't advise you to throw anything out of the window, because that's called littering. You might get a ticket, might get pulled over, and in this climate, ain't no telling how bad it could get. So the next stop, just do a check. Check over what we still need, what are we getting rid of, everything going. Okay, make sure you got room. Sometimes you got to play a little Tetris, make sure things are lined up so you still have space to add to you and what you need as you continue on your journey. So again, I just wanted to encourage you guys that I truly hope this was an encouraging moment for you guys, because it really was for me. Realizing that some of the same things that just a couple of, oh no, we're not about to get emotional. The things that just a couple of months ago I was looking at, and I felt like a failure from looking at those things. Here we are, because I changed my tune and said, I'm just not there yet. And I asked God, what things was I still supposed to be doing, and what things was we supposed to let go of? And that conversation pushed me into a place of obedience. And in obedience, I see how things that I was talking about years ago, 15 years ago, We're about to manifest now. I'm walking in those things now. If I could show you all of the details of things from then and look at my notes of recently as I've been in my new notebook writing things down, they mirror things that are in old notebooks from years ago. And when I heard them this time, I thought they were new. I had just let go. I had forgotten about it. I had cast, matter of fact, I tried to give Lace I created a proposal and presented it to 2 different ministries. But God wouldn't let anybody take it. Because he assigned that thing to me. And now it's on me to provide what it is that he said Layson was supposed to provide. I'm excited, y'all. I really hope you guys are. Listen, in this time, it's been different for everybody. And I hope you haven't allowed others to push you in things that wasn't for you. When God wanted you to rest during this time, you were busy. I gotta build. He pushed pause for you to rest. You might have pushed pause for her to work. You may have pushed pause for him to build. He may have pushed pause for her to build. He might have pushed pause for them to catch up. But what he wanted you to do was rest, but you couldn't hear it because you kept hearing everybody say, if you come out of this pandemic without a business plan, a business, and 3 more proposals, and this was your wasted time. Not if you were in obedience with whatever else you were doing. Because some God wanted to heal. Some God was restoring your family. Some God was giving you a bigger picture. He was adjusting your plans. For some, he was like, finally, sit down and take a load off. Let me unpack some things with you. So this time was different for everybody. I hope you found your truth in it and that it was as productive and prosperous for you as it was for me. It wasn't pretty. I had a few things to face. And some days were a bit heavy. Had a few bouts with depression. Quite a few things went on during this pandemic, and it still ain't even over. But I'm still standing, still loving God, still giving him all the glory and all of the honor. So again, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope something in this video or one of the other videos has something that blesses you, that ministers to your spirit, and you may share with another. Whatever. Don't forget to stop back Friday. This Friday we'll be live with the last part of the Black Woman series. We'll have an all ladies panel lined up. And it's going to be a great conversation. It'll be at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. In My Feelings, we'll still keep going. We have some other things planned for you in September. We have some things planned for you in October. Oh my goodness. In November, you get to learn some things about me. You know, some people have been talking recently about how I'll just get up and I'll go, I'll move and I'll do this. And, you know, like they wish they had that kind of courage or that kind of faith and so on and so forth. But it's like, listen, let me tell y'all something. It wasn't pretty. And I had to have some conversation with myself. There was some nerves. There was some fears. It was a lot. So I'm going to unpack some of those things in November. November's going to be about me, my journey. Not about me, but my journey. It's going to be about my experiences, my shortcomings, and my trials and how I learned from those things. And then I bring some people in to have some discussions about how they fit in that as well. But it's going to be an amazing rest of the year, and I am looking forward to 2021 as well. As always, it's been a treat just talking with you guys, and I hope you all have an amazing time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and share with others. Until next time, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of In My Feelings. It's your girl, it's your host with the most, your favorite chick to chit chat with, Miss Mo. I'm gonna go ahead and turn Tasha back on and let her take us out of here. All right, God bless you. I love you real big. Keep it kingdom.